When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
Well, hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and we're counting it down to the big 200. We are at episode 198. I have a huge treat for you today. Another gentleman has snuck his way onto our podcast. I started out this podcast for years and years and years, interviewing females over the last 6 years. And little by little, I've been trickling in the males because I have met some amazing men that are doing such great work in the world. And Joel Zeff is definitely one of those individuals who celebrates everyday successes to increase collaboration. You're going to find out how he does that from 2,500 stages so far that he's been on. So before we get to Joel, though, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's show, Live and Learn. Live and Learn's mission is to empower women to break the cycle of generational poverty. We envision a world where women thrive, strengthening their families and the community. Live and Learn is a nonprofit organization for women that was founded in 2012 to empower women in the Phoenix metro area. It began as an initiative of the Arizona Foundation for Women and became an independent organization in 2014. Live and Learn continues to grow every year to meet the financial education needs and career training for women in our community. To find out more, or if you wish to donate, please visit liveandlearnaz.org. Thank you so much, Live and Learn, for being the sponsor of today's show. All right, let me tell you about this energetic individual that we have with us today. Prepare to laugh, everyone. I've told him, I want to laugh today. I want to have some good times, and he brings it. So Joel Zeff, he creates energy. I love it. In a room, he just creates it. He's dynamic. He's a dynamic speaker, an improvisational, humorist, and author. His interactive performances invite members of the audience to participate in hilarious improvisational exercises that illustrate Joel's central message. I'm already laughing. I can only imagine just being in that room. The organizations and individuals should celebrate everyday successes to increase collaboration, productivity, passion, and innovation is what Joel says. And since 1997, Joel's inspired audiences from Wells Fargo to Samsung to KPMG and even the IRS. Yes, all the dry IRS that everyone thinks could never possibly be inspired. Joel has done it with his masterful public speaking and his nationally renowned motivator. He's a lifelong humorist. And like I said, he's an improvisational actor. So it shouldn't be too tough for him to do some improv with us today. Joel, welcome to today's show.
Wow, thank you. That was probably the best introduction on a podcast I've ever received. That was, we could just end the podcast right now. You covered everything. Although
I didn't cover everything.
I'm upset that I'm not 200. I want 198. No one's going to remember 198. I wanted to be.
They're going to remember you.
All you have to remember.
All you have to remember. You know what? I might just replay this and say, I told you we had a big treat for 200, and here he is.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Thank you.
We could bring you back for 200, which would be really fun to do, just like a fun podcast that's different than what we're doing. I mean, I'm just saying that could be 200. A lot of fun.
Yeah. That's pretty.
800's a big deal.
Yeah. I feel sorry for 199 because he's got to follow me and then, or she's got to follow me. And then right before 200, forget it.
Yeah. Forget about it.
Yeah. Forget it. 199 is doomed.
So when we talk about celebrating everyday successes to increase collaboration, how did you arrive at that? That isn't something that I'm sure you just woke up one day and was like, celebrate. That's what I have to do. I need to celebrate. Or did you hear the song at a wedding? You're out there.
I do.
Celebrate good times. You were like,
strangely,
I'm going to just start doing this.
In my younger days, I was a wedding DJ. And so if I hear that song, I get there's a little something in my mind that clicks and it's not good because I can't hear that song anymore because I played that song so many times when I was a wedding DJ back in the day. But celebration is about, creating that energy. It's that flourish. And what I do is a ta-da. And when your kids are younger, when they're 3 and 4, everything in their life is a ta-da. They eat a sandwich, ta-da, baby,
Yay!
you ate the whole sandwich. We celebrate everything, right? When
Yeah.
when my kids were younger, everything was a celebration, and we build confidence when we celebrate. We give them that confidence. They get excited. Whatever we're celebrating, they do more of.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's about taking it to our work lives. And as we get older, we still do great things every single day for our customers, for our team, for our partners, for our vendors, but we don't celebrate. We just think that's just the regular day. And we have to celebrate because that fuels us. It creates that passion, that energy, and that fuel makes us a better communicator, a better leader, a better teammate, a better innovator. But if we don't celebrate, we don't have that fuel. Where's that fuel for our passion coming from? And that positive support and celebration is such a huge part of it. And so when I go out, I use improv. My background is I started as a newspaper reporter, went into advertising and marketing, but in between there, I lost my job, Colleen. I was unemployed. Found a little free time, and started doing comedy, started doing stand up and improv. And so improv is all about creating that energy and having that positive support and building confidence and taking risks because you have the support of your team and then what that produces. And so I just kind of took that to my work life, and then that just found its way into speaking and creating that energy and engagement and playing the improv games, laughing, having fun, but talking about the choices that improv teaches us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so going all the way back, I just remember sitting there with my little ones and clapping like, "Yay, you
Yeah.
pooped for the first time in the
Oh,
toilet." It was
for
like
sure.
huge, right? And then now you're talking all the way from that to improv is scary for people. I mean, I am pretty outgoing. I can demand a room, walk into like I don't have any fear or anything stopping me from walking into any rooms. But when we talk about improv, I immediately think of the word like funny, comedian. And then I say to myself, I'm not funny. I'm not a comedian. So improv isn't for me. And if someone put me on the stage on improv, I would just feel like, that triggers me a little bit. That gives me a little anxiety. Do you find that people in the room, when you start talking about improvisation, they're like, what? What exercise are we going to do right now? What?
Well, when I first started, you had to explain what improv was. When I first started speaking in the late 90s, people didn't have a definition or vocabulary for improv. And as it became more popular in the TV shows and
Yeah.
in the media, and there were other shows that used improv as a way to get from point A to point B in the script, and so it became much more well known. People had an understanding, and then it really trickled down into the high schools and the colleges. They had improv troops, and it really kind of took hold and create a following that the majority now has a pretty good understanding of what improv is. Now, when somebody walks into an event that I'm speaking at, I'm pretty sure they're not sitting there going, "Man, I hope that speaker does improv and I get a chance to jump on stage with him," because it's about creating an environment. And when we create that environment of opportunity and positive support, and when you put those two things together, it's amazing what people can accomplish. And I say in my keynote, I don't always speak to fun groups of people, where people are just like, woo, and
The
they're
IRS
cheering,
is
and
not.
everybody gets an iPad, or they're giving out Apple Watches to or hoodies. Sometimes I speak to, like, legal. I speak to the legal ops or the legal team, a little more introverted, little, the energy's not there.
Analytical. Mhm.
Analytical.
Mhm.
There's a lot of other industries that would be their description. And it's about creating that environment where we're going to support each other. And then when I bring people up on stage, I give them something. I give them opportunity to be creative, to work together as a team, to play that improv game. And then the audience gives them positive support through their laughter and applause. And when you put those two things together, I'm telling you, it's amazing what people can accomplish. I have full confidence, Colleen, that you would be incredible in an improv game with the right direction and leadership and creating that environment. I'm not just asking someone, I'm just not throwing people up on stage and go do an improv game, be a ballerina. It's about creating an environment
Yeah.
where we can build confidence and we support each other. And that relates right back to our work lives. That's the environment and culture that we all want. We want that positive support. We want an environment that creates opportunity for us because that's what we all want. And then we want someone to give us that appreciation and that positive support. And when we get those two things, and that's what I'm proving by using the improv game, it's amazing what we can do as a team, as a leader, as an innovator, how focused we are, how we take responsibility, how we take ownership, and how we're accountable.
What have you seen come out of these exercises that you've done with, more than 2,500 corporations?
Yeah.
What is the feedback that you receive from the leaders maybe afterwards?
Well, people want to laugh and they want to play, no matter what your job title is: IT, accounting, legal. You mentioned the IRS. I've spoken to Social Security. I've spoken to the Army. Name your government agency. I've probably spoken to them. And no matter where you are in your life, in your career, people want to laugh. They want to play. They're just not given the opportunity. And I come on stage and I create that opportunity. And when you create that energy, you're giving something to an audience. And people, that release of laughter, it energizes us. It makes us forget some of our challenges or obstacles or problems. It creates this positive energy. It releases endorphins and adrenaline when you laugh. It's a really important part of life. And so when you create that for an audience, you get that energy, and it goes back into the teams. It goes back into productivity. It goes back into being successful and creating that level of respect. And there's so much good that comes from that. And I say in my keynote, Colleen, one of the first things I say is, look, if all you get out of this is that you laugh and have fun, I'm cool. It's all right. There's no better way to spend an hour than laughing and having fun. If that's all you get out of the next hour, I'm fine. But I'm going to talk about these choices, about teamwork and leadership and change, what improv teaches us. And I think some of those choices will help us keep that passion up, keep that stress down, get that energy and that engagement to build that success.
Do you think that a lot of times in these exercises, it's the first time that another team member has seen a person in this light?
Oh, for sure. Especially, look, no one wakes up, has breakfast at the event buffet, and gets their eggs and a little bacon, those little tiny potatoes, and no one goes, man, I hope our VP of accounting acts like a ballerina today on stage. Man, if I could see our CEO become a bull rider, that'd be a good event. No one's planning for any of that. And
Yeah.
so when you see people take that step out of their comfort zone and be a bull rider, a ballerina, all these things have happened. Um, Stand on a chair and act like a giraffe, be a dolphin. y-
They're not
it's just
hypnotized, right?
no,
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 they're not
that's a great
hypnotized. It's just
no.
exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's again, it's amazing what happens when you have that positive support. You could see it in their physical, you could
Yeah.
see it in their eyes and in their body language when they get that laugh and applause. Sometimes when people start, when we're playing an improv game, they might be a little tentative. You can tell, maybe their excuse me, their voice is down a little bit, or you could just kind of tell someone's a little tentative. And I do something or I create something and the audience gives that audience volunteer some laughter, some applause. And you could see them, their shoulders rear back, their eyes get big, and they build confidence and they just start doing more. And what happens? The audience laughs more. And then
Yeah.
what do? They
Do
do more.
more.
And then the
Yeah.
audience laughs more. And it just creates this energy. And then the next audience volunteers that come in, they're going to build on that support. They're going to add to it.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, someone's being a ballerina. Someone is I have a game called Road Trip where we do 4 different emotions, and as each person joins the road trip, everybody in the car has to take on that emotion. So everybody's happy, and then everybody's sad, and everybody's angry. And it's super fun and super funny, and you never know what people are going to say or do. And you could see the energy build through the audience participation, through that positive support, through the support of the volunteers. And I am surprised. Every time I speak, I am surprised. But what people do, how they interact, how they engage, what they do within the games, how they embrace the games.
Yeah.
Again, no matter what, no matter how and many of my clients, describe themselves as boring. We're like, oh, we're real low energy. We're very introverted. We're really boring. So I can't. That usually is how the conversation starts, and it's amazing what happens when you give these people the opportunity, because they do produce people. All of us are creative, even the
Yeah.
people that think they're not creative. All of us want to play. All of us want to laugh.
We need to play as
For sure.
humans. Yeah. I mean, that's a big, I was just reading a book called F Your Feelings. And pretty much in this book, Ryan Mumsey, I believe is his name. And what he talks about is play
Mhm.
and laughter and fun, and how it needs to be an integral piece of our life and not planned, just play and fun and laughter. And yeah, I think that's why people will watch for, cat videos and things that just make them
Yeah.
laugh. Like I
Yeah.
love little kid videos that just kids do the craziest things, and it just makes me laugh. Like literally like belly laugh,
Yeah.
you know?
People want to laugh for sure. And you need that in your work, no matter how serious your job is.
Yeah.
All of our jobs are serious,
Yeah, all of
but
them.
you still need to have fun. And fun is different for everybody. Fun means different things. It should be fun is about, it's inclusive,
Yeah.
it's fun is not about offending or putting somebody in a certain situation. It's inclusive. It's about all of us. It's about creating that environment where we enjoy the moment. And so fun means different things for different people. And so leaders have to create that. If you want to retain your employees, if they're not having fun, they're going to go work someplace else. I don't care what the economy is, there's always a job. People always want passionate, energized people. And I tell in my keynote, if you don't create opportunity, if you don't give people positive support and appreciation, they're going to leave. They're going to turn into bye-bye people. Bye-bye people walk among us. They don't care. Eventually, they're going to realize they don't care, and then they're not happy, and they're going to go work someplace else because they're not receiving that appreciation, that positive support, or that opportunity. And if we don't get those two things, you're not very happy.
No, you're not. It's amazing. I had done a study at one of the offices I worked at, and I started asking all of the support staff and the individuals in support what they craved, where they wanted to go in the company, what they appreciated, areas that we could improve. It was hands down, every single person said the same thing. If I would just get more thank yous, if someone would just appreciate me more and just say thank you. I'm not looking for a raise or days off or, all these big celebrations. But if someone would just say thank you more, I would work harder and longer hours without more pay. I'm not even appreciated. Just a simple thank you. And
Yeah.
so, what you're telling us with these everyday successes, so many individuals, especially high performers, that's what this book was about as well. And I work with a lot of high performers, and I'm sure you're in rooms with a lot of high performers. They're very
I'm in a room
goal.
right now with a high performer.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, sir. We're very driven. We're very goal oriented. So there's a part of us, I believe, that forgets to celebrate maybe the easy thing that was a win. That you're just like, but that wasn't hard, right? A high
Right.
performer's like, it's got to be Mount Everest. It's got to be very difficult. And then I'll celebrate the big win. But it could be a very intimate or valuable win, I guess, that we just look right over and keep moving on. So I love that you talk about celebrating everyday successes, because just getting up and this happens to me every morning when I work out. I work out with a virtual personal trainer, and they'll say you won the day because you started your day with the workout. Like you did it. You starting, it's the hardest part, but you did it. Now, no matter what you do for the rest of the day, you got this out of the way. Like, good for you. And I think, well, there's so many more things I have to get done today, and I'm not really focused. But they're trying to tell me, like, celebrate this win of even starting the workout. But then
Yeah.
when you finish, celebrate the win. You know, we've all heard the story about making your bed. That's like a win in the morning because you did something or put one thing on your schedule that you have to get done today. And that's the one thing you need to get done to move towards your goals. And that's the win. I believe there are millions of people in the world that don't celebrate a success or themselves or anything in a day.
I think, yes, you're absolutely right. I made a QR code, my first QR code the other day. I thought that was the greatest accomplishment in the history of mankind. I was like, I cannot believe I made my first QR code. It's a big deal. You have all these little things become big things, and we have to celebrate because the big things don't happen every day. And if we just wait for that, then there's a whole space and time that we're not celebrating. We're not creating energy. We're not, not fueling our passion.
Yeah.
And the other thing I talk about is to give other people that positive support. And every day, here's the challenge. Every day when you go home from work, you think about all the people that you had contact with, customers, clients, partners, team members, vendors. Did you give the people that deserved it that positive support and appreciation? And probably you forgot because you were busy. I get it. That's what you mentioned about talking to the people earlier about, they are not getting that appreciation. They're not getting that positive support. And so that's why we're thinking about it on the way home. So tomorrow, right, let's give those people that positive support. And you can email them, you can text them, you can call them up, you can see them in the hall. There's no expiration date on a thank you. Nobody has ever been upset by a late thank you. Give them that positive support. They want that positive support. They need it. And so it's about thinking about it, just making it a habit, thinking about it on the way home. That's the challenge. And I talk about a lot of these ideas and challenges in my book that comes out November 13th, Make the Right Choice. And we talk about the ideas about how to create that positive energy, how to create that opportunity, little ideas to build that fun and energy and that play into every day. And it's not like I'm creating all these ideas. I see these ideas when I've worked with 2,500 different clients. I see these ideas all the time. And so I'm just kind of taking some of the ideas that I really love and putting some of them in the book. And when we talk about change and teamwork and staying in the game and being more present and being a better communicator.
Yeah. I think you're right when you talk about it increasing collaboration, but more so, I also think what you're sparking in people individually being part of this exercise from stage is a little innovation, like a little creativity, a
For
little.
sure.
Now they believe that they can do something that they didn't believe they could do when they were putting the eggs and the bacon and the little potatoes on their plate in the morning, right?
Everybody's creative. Everybody, people, oh, I'm not creative. I'm not a very creative person.
Oh, I
Well,
used to say that all the time about
I
myself.
yeah, because they say, well, I'm not an artist. I don't play the piano. I can't okay, that's some forms of creativity, but that's not all forms of creativity. And if you can solve a problem, if you can get from point A to point B, you solved a problem. That's creativity. You created
Yeah.
something. And so it's not always about being a musician or an artist or a singer. It's about more than that. Creativity is many, many things, and we're all problem solvers. None of us sit around not solving problems. I mean, just figuring out what to eat for dinner, we're solving creatively a problem. And so it's about just enhancing that and celebrating that and realizing that you are creative
Mhm.
and not to be afraid to take that risk, to take that leap. Whoop, that's the name of your podcast. To take that leap, right? And you'd be surprised what happens. And if you fall down, you pick yourself back up. Improv embraces mistakes. It embraces risk and embraces change by creating that positive, supportive environment. But you never know where you're going to go if you don't take that chance, if you don't take that leap. Name of Colleen's podcast.
It's seriously, improv is just improvisation to what maybe you originally had planned. And I love it because it's not scripted and you can do whatever you want. There's no mistake in that improv. So I love that.
Everybody
Yeah.
improvs. If you go to lunch with a
Sure.
friend, you're improving. You don't have a script.
No.
The difference is your goal at lunch is not to be funny. Is not
mine
to
is.
entertain an audience,
No,
right?
I'm
Sometimes,
kidding.
I don't know, depends on how many, if you're having like an appletini, maybe the goal is to be funny. But it's the same. Everybody improvises. It's about finding improvisation was a teaching tool. I don't know if you know this. It was developed by a woman named Viola Spolin at NYU in the late 30s. And she was teaching acting students, and she believed if you played a game, you take some of those stresses away. You take some of those barriers away because you're playing, and it's easier to teach some of these concepts through play.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into, she taught some students. They went to Chicago, started a group that evolved, and that ended into those people kind of created Second City. And so improv continues to evolve, and it's about my passion for improvisation, what it taught me, what it gave me, and then watching thousands and thousands of audience volunteers jump on stage with me and what they do to create and make these choices in how they work together as a team and how they communicate and how they lead and how they're innovative. And then the byproduct is the audience laughs and has fun and is entertained.
I think we put too much pressure on us as speakers that we have to hold the stage and hold the attention for the entire time we're there. And I love the way that you've created this opportunity to involve the entire room in everything that you do to create that collaboration. And I celebrate you today, Joel Zeff.
Thanks,
seriously.
Colleen.
Like,
well,
I really am.
I love to have fun, and I want my audience to have fun. And what's great about improv is that it allows the whole audience to participate. It's a unique situation.
Yeah.
The improv games are unique. And then when they see their peer, their friend, their manager, their vice president up on stage, now they have a vested interest, right? That's somebody they know. They want, even if it's a full audience of people, like an association, they don't know each other. That's still their member. They have a relationship. They're one of us. Now they're up there. I want to know what happens. And so the audience is more engaged and they're participating. More importantly, they're more open to the message and they are going to retain the message more.
For sure. Well, let's celebrate your book you have coming out. What's the name of it again? And what's the date?
Let us celebrate the book. No, yeah.
I won't do it. Trigger.
Yeah. Old time rock and roll celebration. Neutron dance. These
YMCA.
Are the shout. YMCA shout is another big one. That I did a lot of. Yeah, it was a good job. It was at the end of high school and the beginning of college, and I was a wedding DJ. And we had records.
Are great.
We had records. That's we're spinning
that
those
whole
records.
Vinyl thing.
Yeah, and I was the hype man, and so there's a two-man show. One guy was behind, playing the music, and then I had a microphone. I was the hype man, going through the audience, getting everybody involved, getting grandma, getting Aunt Joyce to come up on stage or onto the dance floor.
And you've just never stopped. You're still the hype man.
I am. I get the pay is a little different. The pay is just
so much better.
It's a
being the hype man for big corporations versus weddings.
Hey, back then I was like, I think I was like $50 and then like $100 a show back then. That's good money for a high school kid.
Good money.
Or college, beginning of college back in the day. What was the question, Colleen?
Well, how do we celebrate your book that you have coming out? What's the name of it? What's the date?
I was not doing good on the promotion of the book. Make the right choice.
Make the right choice.
That's a good one, isn't it?
It
Make
is
the right
good.
choice. And so it is the second edition. The book came out early, and so the publisher, which is Wiley, they wanted a second edition. So it's like a whole new book. So it's 5 new chapters, new cover, new subhead. Every chapter's been revised. So basically, I'm kind of it's a brand new book, and each chapter it goes through all my messages about communication and change and teamwork and leadership. And we talk about the choices that improv teaches in regards to those messages, and more importantly, those choices, how we can make those at work, and then lots of ideas and fun stories and silly stories, and it comes out November 13th.
November 13th. That's what I was looking for. And you can
Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Oh, nice. You can reach Joel at joelzeff.com. I'm assuming your book's going to be on the website directing us as well.
It is a brand new website, Colleen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think this is the first podcast that I'm promoting the new website.
Nice.
Yes. Guest number 198 was a new website.
Well, I'm not, it's not off the table that I'm not going to invite you back for 200. I just want you to know that. I'm really excited about that. I think we could do some really fun things with that episode.
We didn't even talk about my magic harmonica.
Oh, we did. Oh, well, maybe we should just use that as a lead to get people excited about the magic harmonica. Will you play the harmonica?
Yeah, because originally when we
talked,
not today if we're out of time, but you talked in some of your materials about what was that moment, that your leap moment into something else. And my story has to do with this magic harmonica. This was my leaping moment. And then there's a chapter in the book about when I lose my job at a newspaper here in Dallas, and I had this magic harmonica, and what happened, and how that inspired and motivated me, and what it taught me. And it's this magic harmonica. But I'm going to put it away
smaller than a whole set of drums. I always love it when you watch a band get together and the guy comes up with the harmonica in his pocket and he's like, okay, I'm ready to play. There's no tuning, and then it takes the guy with the drums, because my husband's a professional drummer, takes the guy with the drums, like an entire truckload that he had to load, unload, set it up, and you walk on stage with your harmonica like, hey, what's taking y'all so long? Let's go.
Yeah. The other thing is, if you have no musical ability like myself, you can play the harmonica a little bit and people go, oh, that sounds pretty good. And you've just faked them out. But it's not. I have no musical ability, but I did play the magic harmonica the day I lost my job. And that's the story. And there's a whole chapter in the book. And if we can talk about it at episode number 200.
That'll be so much fun. I want to put something together. So it's got to be a skit or something really good.
Well,
maybe we can do some improving like we have today.
We can play the harmonica.
It'll be a lot of fun. Seriously, it'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Sure. So you can follow Joel Zeff, the Joel Zeff on Facebook, Joel Zeff on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Joel's just a regular guy like all of us. So get out there, slide in his DMs, send him a message, connect with him on LinkedIn. I always like to tell everybody that it doesn't matter who they are. Someone you might follow that is an influencer and you're like, oh, they would never respond to me. I'm like, you'd be surprised. Just slide in their DMs and send them a message.
Yeah.
And they probably will respond to you.
Yeah. I will connect with people. I connect with people. I love LinkedIn. It's my primary social media. And I love connecting with people. And actually I get a lot of business through LinkedIn. And that's where I really tell my story as far as posting and what's happening with my speaking and writing and podcasts is mostly on LinkedIn.
Well, go find Joel Zeff on LinkedIn. And you can find him at Joel Zeff. Pretty easy. Yeah. We have all the links there for y'all as well. So, Joel, this was a pleasure. Thank you.
Colleen.
I celebrate you today and all of your successes and how you've increased so much collaboration within corporations. We need more fun. We need more passion. We need more play. Everyone's getting too dang serious and we have so much coming at us at the speed of light. And I think it's really causing a lot of disease for people in their bodies. It's unbalancing relationships. It's causing our central nervous systems. Now you've got the cold plunge that everyone does to kind of bring down your central nervous system again. We
Haven't
have
done
to have
that.
all these tools
Yeah.
to help us cope with just the everyday of owning a smartphone, if we want to be honest, right?
Yeah.
Just from owning a phone. Back in the day, the Motorola phones that you'd flip open and use as a phone, it was a phone that you would use to call people when you were away from home. That no longer exists. Now it's a computer in our pocket, and it's constantly dinging and vibrating and telling us you missed a message. You have a ton of emails to return. You're not on social media and people are trying to connect with you, and you're just like constantly. And I love this, this play and passion, and laughter and fun that you're bringing to the world.
And
It's
a ta-da.
gift, a true gift.
Celebrating. Ta-da.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
We just finished episode 198.
Yes!
Stay tuned for episode 200, where Joel returns.
Wow. Okay, that sounds official now.
I just want to remind all my listeners out there, because I do it every single episode, that you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that is ever going to be. Celebrate yourself today. Find one thing, one success that you did today, and celebrate. And just stand there and go, ta-da.
Wow.
That's all I want you to do.
Colleen's
Feels
motivated
so
me
much
today.
better. Yeah. Did I? Do you feel that? It's pretty
Yeah.
good, right?
This is
Yeah.
good.
Can you imagine if we were both on stage? It'd be insane. Anyway, all right, Joel, thanks so much for being a guest today. Thank you to all of our listeners for being loyal. Thank you for joining us. And we are excited to get to episode 200. So hang around as we finish up episode 199 and celebrate, like almost a decade of interviewing amazing individuals such as Joel Zeff.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you again, Joel, for being
Thank you.
a guest today. And to all of you, remember, until next time, be you and be strong. Bye-bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed our show today, as our guests shared their secrets on designing their life by taking the necessary leaps to expand their influence and attract the right people and clients into their lives. To start these easy steps for yourself, be sure to visit www.colleenbiggs.net/freebies to download the 7 ways to increase your exposure today.